friends, it's Carolyn Zook here with C6 Stitch, and today is Saturday, April 16th, 2022. Welcome to my channel about cross stitch. I'm so glad that you are here, spending part of your day or your evening with me. Welcome, everyone. It has been quite a week. I almost got scammed. I'm trying to sell my dining room table. Yes, the one I just bought in August because it just is a little bit too big for the space. So I'm going to try to sell it and then get a smaller one. And so I posted it on Facebook Marketplace last weekend, and somebody reached out, and basically it was a scammer trying to get information to my bank account. And they were trying to get me to send them money to verify a Zelle account. It was very odd. So just be aware, scammers are out there, especially on, online and all that, and never send money to anybody. I did not send them everything is fine. But it started out somewhat normal, and then it got really weird. And so I just kind of ended the conversation. But sometimes they can be really aggressive and all of that. So just a warning, if you're trying to sell anything, just be really, really cautious. Cash only. It's the best way to go. And anybody who, doesn't want to pay cash, just kind of move on. I know it's hard when you're trying to sell something. And anyone local, if you want a dining room table that's basically brand new, let me know. Anyway, so just a warning, be careful out there, because there are scammers who will try to get your money. Second of all, it snowed here on, what was it? It must have been Sunday night. It snowed. Now, it doesn't snow in Portland. I mean, it rarely snows in Portland, even in winter, let alone in April. It was the first time, they said, since they kept track of records, that had ever snowed. We didn't get a whole lot, but it was enough to shut things down a little bit. I think by me, I probably got about maybe inch and a half. But the problem was there were a lot of trees that were down and power lines that were down. And so my school ended up, at first they said it was going to be a late start. And on Mondays I can work from home. So it didn't really impact my teaching schedule because it was on Monday. But yeah, and then eventually they said, okay, campus is closed till 4 because there was a live wire that was down on campus, and just to keep people away and the danger and all that. The snow ended up melting by that afternoon, but it was just very odd to wake up to snow in April, which, I mean, I grew up in the Midwest, it's not so unusual. I did undergrad out by Chicago, which again is not so unusual to have that one last April snowstorm. But for out here, it's very unusual. And it's been really rainy and all that all week, and very cold, which I am loving. It is a little bit sunny today, but it's supposed to get back to rainy, chilly weather. So I'm kind of excited, actually. I really like, as long as the cold and rain lasts, I'm a happy camper. Okay, so some great questions from last week's video. Kay asked, where do I find out about Stitchy conventions? And how do I find out about the retreats and all that? That's a great question. That I know of, there is no centralized website that tells you where all the different stitching retreats happen. The best advice I have is to sign up for newsletters of stitchy shops that maybe are in the area that you want to, that maybe you live near, or maybe that you would like to go visit. So like Acorns and Threads has a newsletter, and that's where you will find out about any stitchy conventions or retreats that are coming up, is through their newsletter. The other thing you can do is some individuals who maybe aren't connected to a stitching shop will have Facebook groups. So you can search on Facebook as well to try to find various stitching retreats as well. But yeah, unfortunately, there's no, I mean, that's a great job for somebody if they want to put together a website. I'm sure it would be very useful and maintain that website. But yeah, it's really piecemeal. And so I would suggest, the best thing I would suggest is whatever stitching shop that you, either your LNS or one that you would like to go to, like if you want to come to Portland, for example. I feel like I'm really low. That's a little better. If you want to come to Portland, sign up for the Acorns and Threads newsletter, and you'll get all that information there. JC. So last week, I forgot to pull it, but last week I showed you my educated piece from Bent Creek. And I was talking about that little ball inside a bell. And JC said, that's called a clacker, Carolyn. Clacker. So I didn't know what it was called, the thing that hits the sides of the bell to make it make a sound. So thank you, JC. It's called a clacker. Lilia said, okay, so I mentioned that Tina from Tina Stitches and I are starting a Stitch in Time. I think Kim is also starting it from Stitching Stuff, and we're trying to get Sarah to also start it from Stitching Stuff. And we're going to start it on World Cross Stitch Day, which is August 12th this year. And it's a HAID. It's called a stitching shelf, but there's another piece called a Stitch in Time. And the only difference between the two pieces is that a Stitch in Time has an emblem in the middle of the piece that says a Stitch in Time. Other than that, they're exactly the same piece. So you just need to decide, do you want the one with the emblem or the one without it? The one without it is called a stitching shelf. The one with the emblem in the middle is called a Stitch in Time. So they're the same piece. So Lilia is working on a Stitch in Time, and she said, I'm only able to do 100 stitches a day, about 6 days a week, which I think is a lot. Like, a lot of these HAIDs is more about consistency than about how many stitches you could put in every day, right? So consistency is what's going to get the piece done. So then she asked me, how many years would that take me, Carolyn? Because you know I love data. So yes, I did the data for you. And Lilia, I already responded to your comment, but I thought this would be fun. So a Stitch in Time and a stitching shelf, they're both 725 stitches wide by 518 stitches high, which equals 375,550 stitches, okay, in the whole piece. You divide that number of total stitches by 100 per day, and you come up that it will take you 3,755 and a half days to complete it, okay? So if you divide that into 365 days, you get 10.28 years. So about 10 and a third years to finish it at 100 stitches a day, which actually isn't that bad for such a huge piece. And you're doing max colors. So 100 stitches a day on a max color piece, I think, is great progress. 10 years, a little over 10 years. Can you imagine? Let's do it. Let's do it, everyone. Yes. So please plan on joining us. I've started, I left my floss over there. But anyway, who cares about DMC floss to CS Hall? I started, Joann's had a coupon for 25% off a pickup order. Well, I'll talk about that in Hall. Anyway, I got some of the floss for Stitchy Shelf. I'm starting to kit it up. Okay. Patricia, a couple weeks ago, Patricia asked about my review of the BenQ Genie e-reading lamp. She asked about the bulbs and how long do the bulbs last. And I heard back from the company, and they said they're estimated to last about 50,000 hours. So a good long time. I meant to do the math on that too, if you were to, but I forgot. But so they're expected to last around 50,000 hours, obviously more or less depending on the brightness and all that. But that's a good long time for them to last, I think. All right, so let's get into the stitching. So I did work on my StitchCon Small last Sunday, which I'm not going to show you. And then I worked on Bayou Cat, and this is for the monthly acrostic. This is for B in bookmark. I meant to get 6 hours in. I ended up only getting 4.5, but that's okay. Here's where we're at. So I got this row with all the houses in it. I got that row all done. That went actually quite fast once I sat down and focused on it. So we're getting there. The cat is nearly done. I just have that top part and then, kind of working on the outside border. This is from Forest Embroidery. I got it as a kit. I'm using their floss, which is really wonderful to work with, and their fabric. I think it's a 32 count linen. So I worked on Bayou Cat. And then I worked on Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow, which this was for my M in bookmark, M for Moonlight, and it was my Whip Go piece. So I got the Whip Go done. For me, my Whip Go draws are 12 hours. I actually finished the block. So blocks 1 through 3 are done. So I'll hold it back here so you can see what it will look like. And then I will fold it up so we can take somehow. This is stitched on, there's cat hair all over this. 32 count Vanilla Latte by Bestitch Me. All right, so the M is for the moon, or the moonlight. It says, in the moonlight, in the shade of the yew tree. So last time you saw this, I think the horse was not connected, and I think maybe we just had his legs done. So I stitched on this a lot. In fact, so the Whip Go goal is 12 hours. I actually, last night, I was supposed to stitch on the stained glass piece to get for Good Friday. And I was really close to finishing this. So I just pushed that off and worked on this one more night, and I got it done last night. So I'm super, super happy about this. This is on my Whip Go board 4 times in total, and it's already come up 3 times, and I still want to finish block 4 that I haven't started yet this year. This block took me a total of 41.25 hours to complete. So, a lot of stitching, of course, in that. Some of the bats are supposed to have French knot eyes. You can see some of them have cross-stitch eyes. And some of them were supposed to have French knot eyes. I had those in, and I really didn't like them. So I just pulled them out, and I think it looks fine. I don't think you would notice. They're just so small, right? And I couldn't get the eyes to look like eyes. Like, they just look like a blob. Just because they're so small and they were so close together. But there is block 3, completely done, of Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow. So, the next time this comes out, we'll be starting block 4. The next time this is called. It's funny how this has been called 4 times already. 3 times already. So I'm going to have to fit in other times throughout the year to work on it if I want to complete block 4. And that, I think, is going to be my focus piece for next year to get that piece completely done. All right, so let's do haul. So that's my stitching, basically. Let's do haul. I have some haul to share. First up, my World of Cross Stitching magazine came in, and you can see I got a couple things tagged, so that will be nice to look through. I'll do a flip through of that. And then I was at Acorns, and I picked up a bunch. Here's a fistful of floss for you. Picked up a bunch of threads for, I think these are the called for With the Needle by Lila's Studio. Jan and I are starting with the needle at StitchCon this year together. So I got some of the floss for that. I did pick up a DMC for one of the Haids. I can't remember which one. I have it written down. And then I picked up some of the Anchor floss for Purple Rain that I'm starting with Candy and several others on June 7th. for Prince's birthday. It's Purple Rain, Reign. It's another Haid. I'm doing the mini version. I placed an order from 123 Stitch for most of the inker, and I'm just waiting for that order to come in. And there were some that were just out of stock, and I thought, well, I'll just look at Acorns while I'm there and see if they have any. And they did. They had everything I needed, so I could start, kind of organizing that. And then I got the next 3 pieces of A Year in the Woods. I can't remember. I think the Jackrabbit was next because I only have the first 2. But I got on their auto ship. I don't know. I thought I had, and I think I hadn't. I'm not sure which order he's going. Anyway, here's the raccoon. And then here's the ferret. Really, really cute. So I will add those to my project bag. And then I got a Tisket, a Tasket. So I ordered this. This is a market release. This is by Rosewood Manor. It was so popular, they had to order more. And they said, we're out of most of the colors. So I'm not going to start this anytime soon, but I love this so much. I think it's so gorgeous. So I just, I love blues, and this is blues, and I think it'll look beautiful in my home. And then a while ago, I kind of have forgotten I ordered these. I ordered all of the reindeer from the Christmas Eve Couriers by Nora Corbett. So those came in. I ordered those a couple months ago. So I got, here is Blitzen. Here is Donner. Here is Cupid. Yeah. Here's Comet. And Vixen. Prancer. How pretty. I think these are just so pretty. Here's Donner. Dancer. Here's Dasher. And Rudolph. So I want to get the sleigh too. I don't think the dimensions, I think on that one are a lot bigger than these. I'm not quite sure. These don't, I wanted to fit these all in one piece together, but you can tell, they all have different borders and all that. So what I think when I stitch them, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some type of wood blocks and finish each one of these on a wood block, which will take up a lot of space for storage. Maybe I'll do flat folds. I'm not sure yet. And then line them all up. So it kind of looks like they're in line ready to go for Santa. I'm not sure, though. If you have ideas of how you're going to finish this, let me know. But I do like the idea of blocks. Somebody, I think, also suggested getting, a window frame with, 9? And putting those in, a window frame, and that would be cute, too. I realized I forgot a major piece of haul that I should have showed you at the beginning, so let me go grab that. I can't believe I didn't start the video out with this way. I have an FFO. It's my first professionally framed piece. This is Spring Quakers by Rosewood Manor that came back from the framers. They called me yesterday saying it was ready to pick up. So sorry about the glare. So this is what she looks like. The glare isn't that bad in real life. I think it's gorgeous. I can't stop staring at it. I love it. We opted not for a mat because it doesn't really need it because it's kind of already, it's really nicely squared and all that. And I didn't get museum glass. It was quite a big jump from the museum glass. The museum glass for this one was triple the price of, I didn't get the regular. I did upgrade to the UV protective so that if sun light shines directly on it, which where I'm thinking of putting it, I don't think it will get direct sunlight, but you never know. So I did upgrade, which is like, I don't know, $10, $20 more than the regular glass for the UV protection. But the museum glass, which is no glare, was like triple. So I was like, I think we can look beyond a little bit of glare. But yeah, I got this at a local frame shop. I got it done at a local frame shop. I'm thrilled with it. I love it. I really love it. I can't wait to hang it up in my house. And Jack loves it too. Here's Jack. He usually doesn't come up here and say hi to you guys. So here he is. To say hi to you. Like he's being a little snuggle bean lately. Oh, he doesn't want to be held. As soon as I say he's going to be a snuggle bean, he's like, no, I'm not actually. Anyway, so that's my FFO. I can't believe I didn't start it out like that. So that's a pretty big haul. Okay, that's really all I have. Let's talk plans. Oh my gosh, Jack's little paw is wet. It's adorable because the way he drinks water is he'll stick his paw in a bowl of water and then lick the water off his paw, and it's really cute. So let's talk plans. So plans for this week, I am gonna work on stained glass window because I didn't get to it last night, but I'm going to give it 3 evenings worth of work. And then this week I'm going to work on Death by Cross Stitch, which is my other Whip Go piece for this month. So I'll be working on that. The stained glass window is for the 2 O's in Bookmark Acrostic, and also because I wanted to work on something that was kind of Easter related for this weekend. And stained glass window meets the O's because the family that I'm stitching it for has a child. He's 10 or 11 now, named Oliver. And so that's how I fit it in with the 2 O's. And then next weekend is a 24 hours of cross stitch weekend. So I'm really excited about that. My goal for that weekend is 15 hours. He needs a lot of attention. You don't usually see this from Jack, but this is a really good chance to see his cute face. I think he's cute. So next weekend I'm aiming for 15 hours because I'm going to see Hamilton next Saturday, which I'm super excited about. So that will take up a whole evening. And I probably won't get any stitching in because that's a long show, and I have to get there. It starts at 8. I'll be out past my bedtime. So my plan for that is I'm gonna do 6 hours of my StitchCon piece so that I can get some good progress on that. I'm gonna do 6 hours on Princess Ileana. And then I'm going to finish up my Death by Cross Stitch Whip Go piece. And not finish the piece, but finish the time stitching on it. So that's what I'm going to do. And then in May, so May is coming up in a couple weeks, if you can believe that. We're midway through April. Last year in May, I don't know what I'd call it, but I focused on finishing a lot of small pieces that I had just kind of lingering. And it was really productive, and I really like that. So I'm going to do that again. I'm going to focus on finishing as much as I can in May. And so I have several like kind of small ornaments that I want to finish up. And I'll talk more about this in a couple weeks when we look at May plans. But I'm also going to try to finish Bayonne Cat in May. My goal in that one for the year is to finish it. And I thought, well, May is a good time. So I'm excited about that. So if you are looking for something to do during May, so May is usually called Mania, where people start a bunch of things. I'm starting plenty this year already. And I mean, I kind of planned out some of my finishes, and if I can do it, I might be at like 6 different finishes next month. So that will feel really great. But yeah, Mania was a Facebook page. It's no longer in existence. Where, people did different versions of it, but where you start a new project every day, or you start 22 new projects because it's 2022, or whatever it is, however it works for you. I'm going to do it so that I work on finishes. So that'll be exciting, and will feel like I'm making some good progress towards my yearly goals as well. All right, I think that's everything. I hope you all have a wonderful week ahead. Happy Easter for those who celebrate. I wish an easy fast for those who are celebrating Ramadan, and happy Passover for those who celebrate that. We have a lot of celebrations this weekend, and next weekend I know is Orthodox Easter, so happy Easter. Happy Holy Week, I guess, to all of you as well. I hope you have a wonderful week. Stay safe, and I'll see you next week. Bye.